Yeah, there we go. Hey, there we are. Hey, hey,
Hey,
hey.
hey, hey. Looks like we are live. I'm just going to try to tilt this a little bit just to get us a little bit more center because we're trying something new. And I have no idea if it's going to work or not because I think I just moved me up there more.
Yeah, you did. You did. Oh,
Nope,
my head.
can't do it. That's far enough. Okay. Woohoo! Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us as you guys start to come in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Didn't do as many posts today because I wanted to see if how things were going to go as far as how many people come in with me just putting up a few posts today versus me when I put up like every half hour all afternoon.
Yeah.
So just curious, trying to play around with the algorithms a little bit, but thank you so much for everybody for joining us. If you can do us a favor, go ahead and say a hello to us in the comment section. Say where you're from. We always like being able to see where people are from. And one step further, tell us where you want to go to next. We're going to be talking about Alaska, but we've got some really great ideas and different things that we're going to be talking about over the next few weeks. And we're curious if you are going to be interested in some of those. So we'll reveal a little bit more later on. And so it looks like we're starting to get a couple of people in here. I know I've got volume on both, so I think we're good to go. Yep, it's working. Yep. I can see it. So let's go ahead and get started. We do have a lot to talk about. The bulk of what we want to discuss this evening is going to be the wonderful state of Alaska.
Yes.
But before that, it's been a couple weeks. Thank you to everybody. Hi, Reno, Ohio. Woohoo! Thank you, Deb. We missed last week because we wanted to make sure everybody got to enjoy their Easter weekend. So we're happy to be back today, officially healthy.
Happy belated Easter, everybody. So
happy Passover.
Yep.
So
or hope you guys all had a great time.
You all celebrate during your spring break season. So, but now that we are back, we are a little bit behind on our theme park news, so I'm going to go over a few things real quick with that before we get into beautiful Alaska. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. So to start with, before I even get to woohoo, Mike Snyder says, thank you. Before we even get into the theme parks, I just wanted to say we are at 246 subscribers right now. Thank you so much for that. Hi, Kim. Thanks for joining us. And our top videos that we have right now is our Cabana Bay with the Volcano Bayview room video. Yep. It's up to a whopping 1,833 views. And then our Town Place Suites by Marriott that is at Flamingo Crossing is our second highest for the past week, which is at a whopping 1,550 views. So a lot of people have started looking at that one. And anybody that has, and you're watching this one, definitely reach out to me about either one of those because I am a travel agent. I can book those for you. Scott is also a travel agent now, so he can start helping me with all of that stuff too.
Yep.
So definitely reach out. That's exciting. I'm really glad that our resort videos are doing so well, and that's what you guys seem to be enjoying watching the most.
Yeah. And we enjoyed bringing them to you guys too. So
yeah, we have a lot of fun with those.
So help you book your vacation so we can get ourselves back down there so we can do some more videos and stuff and bring you more content. So.
Yep, exactly. So over at Walt Disney World, there's been a lot of stuff happening. First of which is annual passes are back.
Yes, they are.
And that is incredible. Now, they will officially be available for purchase on April 20th. So that is going to be what, Thursday or Friday? Today's the 17th. So
Friday.
So they're officially going to be able to be purchased on April 20th, and they will be selling the Incredipass, the Sorcerer Pass, and the Pirate Pass. Now, just as a heads up, unless you are a DVC member or a Florida resident, you are only going to be able to purchase the Incredipass. And the Incredipass, as of right now, is priced at $1,399 per person. So, ouch.
Yeah.
But being if you go twice a year.
Did you hear that? My wallet just ran out of the room screaming.
Yeah, I know, right? But if you are a family that likes to go to Disney twice a year or 3 times a year,
Yeah.
it really ends up being a good savings.
Yes, it
So
does.
it hurts when you pay it, but then being able to splurge a little bit on the next trip with the moderate or deluxe resort instead of having to pay for the tickets too, like,
Mhm.
it ends up being a good deal with it for that reason.
Yeah.
So also Star Tours. So Star Wars Celebration was in London last week. That was really cool. If you haven't watched Paging Mr. Morrow, you should definitely check him out. And then also friends of mine that I went to high school with, actually, Blind Wave Productions was there as well. So I was really glad to see them represented and having a good time there. But definitely check out their videos because it was a really neat thing.
Yeah.
And then in 2025, they're supposed to be going to, I believe it's Tokyo, Japan.
I believe so.
So definitely Japan. I'm not quite sure on the city. So that's fun. But at Star Wars Celebration, which is why I brought it up, they announced that they're going to be doing new scenes for Star Tours starting in 2024. So that's exciting. Something to freshen it up a little bit. They've got a lot of different things. So I'm really glad that they're doing more with it. So keeping it relevant. The next thing is capture your moment photo sessions. This is something that they've been doing for a while. It's kind of low key. It's a $99 service, and you have a PhotoPass photographer that will take you around and do special videos or special photos for you in a specific location. So they just announced that they will be doing photo sessions May 1st in Fantasyland. Before, you were only for Magic Kingdom, you were only able to do it in front of Cinderella Castle or on Main Street, USA. So I'm glad that they're doing that. If you have a little one that's celebrating, a little princess, those are great. If you're having a senior that's graduating or special birthday or engagement photos, anything like that, it really does help kind of get a little bit more magical, having those magic shots and being guaranteed having somebody kind of working with you to get those shots for you rather than you waiting in a line forever and then maybe not getting what you want because they are limited in what they're able to do for you. So also Mama Odie, if anybody is familiar with The Princess and the Frog, she is the old lady that is living in the bayou that has all the magic, and she is going to be bringing the magic to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So I'm really excited to see how she's going to do that for us. There is some concept art out there that looks really fun, but waiting to see what they do more with it because there was a whole lot of stuff that they were talking about, but no real answers. So, and then Epcot Food and Wine Festival. I will bring this up again when it's a little bit closer, but they announced that it's going to begin on July 27th. So it's getting earlier and earlier. And I can't say I'm mad about it.
I'm getting hungrier and hungrier.
And then again, I am a family travel specialist, but on this one, you may not even care about taking your kids with you. So if you are obsessed with Animal Kingdom in particular, Pandora, Africa, Asia, like all the different elements and stuff that are put together and really make Animal Kingdom what it is. That is in large part thanks to a man named Joe Rohde. He was a Walt Disney Imagineer. He did retire during the pandemic, I think at the end of 2020 or 2021. And so he has graciously agreed to be a part of an Arctic expedition cruise in July. And he will be talking to the people that are cruising with him as they go through the Arctic. And I just think this is so incredible. I want to do it. I don't care if anybody in my family goes with me. I just want to do it. And if you want to join me, definitely reach out to me because I'm sure that sailing...
I'm sorry.
I'm sure that sailing is filling up really fast. So if that's something that you're interested in, reach out to us ASAP. And I guess I will take Scott because that wouldn't be very fair.
If you're going to the bottom of the world, you better be taking me. Jeez. See how she is. Just,
Yeah.
Terribly mean. Yeah, that would be a trip of a lifetime, basically. I mean, to
being
really
able to do that with Joe Rohde.
yeah, and to be, if you guys don't know Joe Rohde, he's a major influencer in the design of Animal Kingdom.
Yep.
I mean,
he's done other things.
Yeah,
but Animal Kingdom is what he's most famous for.
that was kind of his baby, and boy, did he knocked it out of the park.
Wow.
He actually went over to Africa
Mm-hmm.
for a few months and studied the cultures and stuff, and brought little things back that, you know, just reminded him of being in Africa, and they took that concept and just went crazy with it.
Yes,
so
they did. So
be cool to hang out with him on that ship.
It would. Now, another thing that is really cool, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the West Coast. It is not cool. I apologize. It is really sad. Splash Mountain is officially going to be closing on May 30th at Disneyland in California, which means no more Splash Mountains in the United States.
Yep.
But it does mean that we're going to get a Tiana's Bayou Adventure out there in Disneyland. And with where it's located as compared to us, it's very close to the French Quarter. So it fits perfectly out there on the West Coast. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that all ties in and everything.
I think the theming for that will actually go better with the French Quarter and everything out there than having the Splash Mountain and stuff. So
yeah, because the issue is, and I've mentioned this before, and just really quickly, when you're at Walt Disney World and Magic Kingdom, Splash Mountain is literally between Adventureland, where you get off of Pirates of the Caribbean and you walk over, and then Frontierland, where you've got Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Yep.
And it just doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense that all of a sudden you're in the bayou.
Yeah.
But hopefully they'll figure it out.
Yeah,
it'll work.
They'll make it flow better.
So another thing, which I think is hilarious, and I kind of hope is still going to be around if we get to pull off our trip in the fall out to California, is Rogers the Musical, which you saw in Hawkeye, is actually going to be coming to Disney's California Adventure, and you'll be able to actually see the musical that they were performing at the beginning of the Hawkeye series.
I think that would be a great thing to go do.
I think it's hilarious. I love that they're putting it together. So, and then Universal Orlando, just a few things about them, because they've got a lot going on. The first of which is they are hiring a full-time associate project manager, which will be handling their drone operations.
Dang. Oh, man. See, I
Guess what?
Should have been playing out there with them drones all those times. But yeah. And other news that's going on at Universal, I'm sure probably a lot of you have heard, but Poseidon's Fury is officially going to close.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, but at the same time, I can understand the reasoning behind it. I mean, the attraction is not getting as much attraction anymore.
And it's a very slow process getting people through it.
And it was a really cool experience to do it. But I kind of agree there needs to be something fresh put in there. I'm kind of,
which begs the question with Lost Continent. There's really not a whole lot going on over there.
No.
You've got Mythos, and then you have a couple of shops and like Fire Eater's Grill when it happens to be open. So there's really not a whole lot. Is it going to get kind of swallowed up and just be a part of Hogsmeade and Harry Potter, or are they going to do their own land? Like, there's a lot of speculation going on, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Universal decides to do with it.
Yeah, I really hope they keep the theming right in there, because it's a great transition in between Seuss's land and then going into like the Lost Continent and then going into Harry Potter. And it's a great transition between the three of those. But I'm sure Universal is going to knock it out of the park, whatever they do. But I
think they need to do Legend of Zelda.
That would be neat. I
think it would tie in beautifully.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. But speculation.
And the water tunnel, because it's going away, and I can talk about it and not spoil it for anybody. But in Poseidon's Fury, they have the water tunnel.
Yeah.
Well, that would be like a perfect segue that they could reuse as an element for one of the Zelda games.
Yeah, totally,
So
totally.
it would fit very well.
The other depressing news is, well, unfortunately, Mardi Gras is coming to an end.
Yep, finished up yesterday.
Yep. So
kind of sad.
It's kind of sad, but it also starts paving the way for HHN, Halloween Horror Nights, baby. So if you guys are definitely interested in going to go doing that, you need to get a hold of us now, because this is the time to start looking at booking your Halloween Horror Nights.
Hotel availability right there at Universal is already filling up.
Don't forget about
believe it or not.
RIP tours. There's a lot of things you guys can go do that we can book for you and get you down there. So.
And if you are not as into Halloween Horror Nights, but you absolutely love the Harry Potter series, Dark Arts Castle Show will be returning. Sorry, that was my leg.
Yeah, scared me. I thought there was an animal coming up. I'm like, what the heck?
The Dark Arts Castle Show is returning September 15th through October 31st. So kill two birds with one stone. Get to go and get completely creeped out at Halloween Horror Nights, and then another night go over and get creeped out by the Death Eaters, and then have
that's a cool
amazing castle show.
If you haven't seen it, you got to get down there, get a hold of us so we can get you there.
And speaking of Harry Potter, something that was only at Universal Hollywood has officially come to Universal Orlando, and that is custom engraved wands.
That's cool.
I am so excited. You're going to be able to purchase those at Ollivanders in Diagon Alley, or you can purchase it at Dervish and Bangs in Hogsmeade. Now, the interesting thing is, you purchase your wands in those locations. You tell them what you want. So you have to buy the wand. You can't just bring in an old wand. You have to purchase the wand there.
Okay.
It has to be new. And then it's a $30 additional charge in order to get the engraving done. And depending on which wand you choose as to how much space there is in order to do the engraving. And then about 45 minutes later, you're actually going to pick up your wand either at Borgin & Burke's, which happens to be in Nocturne Alley, just off of Diagon Alley, which I thought was really interesting. They're sending you into creepy Nocturne Alley to pick up your wand.
Yeah.
Or the Heraldry, I hope I pronounced that right, which happens to be in the Lost Continent. So you're not even going to be picking up your wand within the spell limits, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
So definitely very excited about that. And I know that when we go back, we'll definitely be getting some custom wands, because I think that's incredible.
Yeah. Now, real quick, before you go any further, speaking of Harry Potter, I don't know if you guys have heard or not, but HBO has definitely signed on, possibly for 10 seasons. I cannot believe that. 10 seasons already for a Harry Potter series.
Wanda, I thought you said wine. No. Oh, sorry.
Can't engrave one. Well, you could engrave the bottle, I guess. But, but yes, 10 seasons, and J.K. Rowling is behind it too. And
that's interesting.
She is 100% behind it. She's getting it prepared, and from what I'm understanding, it's going to be based a lot on the books itself.
Very much on the books, yes.
And
we want Peeves. We want Peeves.
And the original characters will not be in it.
What?
Yes. Like Harry Potter. Who's the guy that played it?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're saying the actors will not.
Yeah, the actors from the movies.
Well, that would make sense, because how would they be able to be?
They're going to bring in new people and stuff. Because Daniel Radcliffe can't play a little kid.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. But, I think this is exciting. I cannot wait for it to they're getting ready to start production on it, and they're getting ready to start, doing everything that they need to get it going.
I think that's super exciting.
I'm looking forward to binge watching and curling up in bed and turning on the television and doing, watching some Harry Potter and stuff. So
I think that is incredible.
That's exciting.
Which makes my last piece of news about Universal very anticlimactic. Toothless now has his own popcorn bucket. So that rounds out my news. So.
Wow, I should have let you lead with that, but anyway. But yes, all that is very exciting news. It's a lot of new things that's coming. Epic Universe, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it is getting the hotel One of the hotels that they're building is really starting to take shape and form.
Oh, that's cool.
I've seen photos of it and stuff, and it's getting more and more exciting because we are getting closer and closer to that deadline of them opening up.
I
Epic
know.
Universe.
That's super exciting. 2025 is the estimated opening.
My goal is we will be there. My goal.
Hopefully, we'll be living there.
I hope so. So, well, not at Epic Universe, but in the area.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, we'll
still be staying there.
That's right. We're going to actually get started talking about what we're really here to talk about tonight, which is Alaska.
Yep.
And
My
Megan,
papers are moving around, so give me a second.
Megan got to go and on what night was it?
So Wednesday evening. Hi, Becky. Thanks for joining us. So Wednesday evening, I was fortunate enough to be invited to the Peninsula Travel Show, and it was a really great opportunity for me, fairly local to where we are, and got to meet several different business development managers, different people from different businesses that promote tourism, and one of them, actually two of them, two Heathers, ironically, were from Alaska, both of which live in Anchorage, Alaska. And one was talking about the Anchorage Tourism Board and visiting Alaska. And then the other one was a part of the Alaska Railroad Company.
Yes.
And so being able to sit there and have an amazing presentation, listening to them about all of that was incredible. Made me want to go so badly. Wonderful, wonderful ladies. And I wanted to be able to bring a few of those tidbits and stuff that they shared with me to you, because I think a lot of times when people think about Alaska, yes, it's a bucket list destination. Everybody wants to go to Alaska.
Yeah.
But they feel like the only way that they can do that is if they do it by cruise ship.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, cruising can be an absolutely phenomenal way to do Alaska. But you're only seeing just a little teeny tiny bit of Alaska if you do it that way.
Yeah, you're just going from port to port.
Yeah, and it's just the southeast portion of Alaska.
Yeah, and don't get us wrong. It is beautiful no matter what you do. Whether you fly in, you take the train, or you go on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Either way you do it, it's just gorgeous. I mean, like there's just no place on earth like it. I mean, it is just a wondrous beauty, and for it to be sometimes during the summertime, it could be up to 65 degrees up there. It's just mind-boggling.
Yeah, that's the average. That can actually get to like 80 on certain days. But
I mean, it's just mind-boggling. That far north can get that warm, you know?
I know.
So
isn't that incredible?
And then like one whole day, like it's like 21 hours of nothing but daylight, you know? And that even, like, to me, I'm like, okay, that's going to be weird. And you can actually see a sunrise and the sunset all in the same day. I mean, just literally, you know, it's
the sun never technically sets because
it just
it's still
there.
daylight.
Yeah.
So
it's just
now, if you are wanting to do a cruise, which yes, by all means, we can do the cruises for you. I have a great partnership with Royal Caribbean. They have a fantastic itinerary that you can do on the way up or the way back.
Yep.
And if you do it, I really recommend the Quantum class if you can, just because then you're going to have that big observation globe, basically, that you can sit in, and then they bring it all the way up. So you can you're up out of everything and you can really get a panoramic view of everything. Mike says he wants to go to the North Pole. Well, technically I can do that for you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there actually is excursions that goes to the North Pole, and it would be interesting to be able to say that you've been to the North Pole. I mean, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get into Santa Claus's workshop, but
no, they've got that hidden away pretty good. But other cruise lines that you can use in order to be able to visit Alaska. So the America cruise lines, Celebrity, Norwegian cruise lines. That's another really good one, actually, for Alaska. They've got a really great itinerary.
Carnival goes up in there?
Carnival does not.
Doesn't?
And then Viking Ocean Cruises is the other one. Those are the ones that... Now, there's some smaller, like 20 passenger, 40 passenger. Aloha, wrong state, but thanks for joining us, Chris. So there are a few other options that you can do if you're looking for a much smaller, more intimate experience. Wait, we aren't talking about Hawaii? No, we are talking about Alaska, which I told you about when we were talking earlier today. So
Does this look like Hawaii?
we were originally, so Christopher, our son, we had originally talked about possibly doing Hawaii because I actually have people that will be there next week. But because I got so excited about everything with the Alaska Tourism Board that I decided I wanted to talk about Alaska instead. So he's not completely off the mark. Now, I will say if you are doing cruising, I know I was being a butt, LOL. I do want to reiterate that the cruises, you're only going to be seeing the southeast and a little tiny piece of the south central parts of Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can do a cruise tour where you can cruise up from Vancouver, Seattle, get off the ship, go spend time and experience the interior, then get back on the ship or just fly back home from Anchorage.
Yeah.
You could definitely do that.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much to do in Anchorage just in itself. I mean,
it's a big little city is what she called it.
It is. It's a really big little city. And I mean, the glaciers that are literally just around Anchorage is just mind blowing how many glaciers they have right just in that small section.
I know.
And
there's how many did I find? 11?
I think you said 11.
No. Hang on.
But anyway, while she looks for that, you can jump on the train right there and you can go explore. I mean, there's so much that you can do literally just in Anchorage alone.
Right.
Like you can make it a whole trip just being in Anchorage, Alaska.
Yes, so, you can.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool that you can actually do that. So, I know it's thousands and thousands of them, but for some reason I am like totally drawing a blank on the number of glaciers that they have, but it's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of them around there.
So, now some interesting facts about Alaska that a lot of people may not know about that I thought was really interesting, so I want to share them. Alaska has its own time zone. Is that something you were aware of?
Actually, no, I wasn't.
So it is actually 5 hours behind where we are, which is the Eastern Standard Time, and it is 1 hour behind California. So I thought that was really interesting.
Pacific time, and what do they call it? Alaskan time, or
probably because it literally has its own time zone.
Huh.
So I thought that was really interesting.
That's interesting because and to be honest with you, I never really knew that because I mean I studied the 4 basic time zones, but I never really went any further than California because why did you need to know?
Well, and then you have Hawaii, which is 6 hours, depending on the time zone or the time change. Yeah. So that's a whole other can of worms. We'll get into it another time. But there is also 586,000 square miles to explore. Now, to give you some perspective, because to me, that's just a big number, called UTC, Alaskan Standard Time. Thanks, Chris.
Okay. I did not know that.
Just to give you an idea. So the state of Pennsylvania, we could fit 14 of us inside of Alaska and still have a little room.
Wow.
We could put 15 Ohios into Alaska. That's a lot of Ohios and way too much for my taste. You could put 10 Floridas. So anybody that has driven all the way down into the Keys, and you've driven that 95 section that is never going to end.
Yep.
Could you imagine doing 10 of those? And that's kind of where you're going to be at with the idea of Alaska.
Wow.
And then my favorite, so the smallest state, which is Rhode Island. How many do you think for Rhode Island? I know it could be Texas, Montana, and what's the third one? California can all fit in it combined and still have room left over. So 387, nope. 425 Rhode Islands will fit inside of Alaska.
Wow. Wow.
So just to give you guys an idea of how big Alaska is, and a lot of it is still wilderness. So it is why it's called one of our last frontiers, because you can really experience the wilds and nature, how it was intended.
That's really interesting.
So another thing I thought was really interesting before I let him start talking about the railroad is Russia actually sold the United States Alaska way back in 1867 for $7.2 million. $7.2 million. Today, that would be about $55 million. Okay. So, not a whole lot of money. That translated back then to 2 cents an acre.
Wow.
So, I think that was just really interesting.
Back then, that was like big money too. So,
yep.
That's unreal.
Another really interesting thing to me, if you are into history, if you're into cultures, things like that, the indigenous people of Alaska actually make up about 16% of the current population. And they have officially acknowledged and have 20 different languages that are from the indigenous people that are recognized in the state of Alaska. As languages that you can use within the state. So I thought that was really cool. That was done in 2014. And there are 11 distinct cultures that you can actually study and experience today. So, and people are still like practicing and living in those cultures, which I think is absolutely incredible. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about is that Juneau, the capital, which crazy to me that Juneau is the capital, whereas all the tourism and everything goes in and out of Anchorage.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to me. But did you know that Juneau can only be accessed by boat or plane?
Yep.
You can't drive there.
Yeah.
There's no way for you to drive to Juneau, Alaska. So absolutely incredible.
Yes, it is.
Speaking of like not being able to get to Juneau because there's just no way to be able to go by car, you actually cannot take a train into Alaska. They have no way for you to be able to take a train from
all the way up the west coast,
Canada, or the southern part of, or the western part of the United States, and take the train up into Alaska.
Yeah,
you have to drive it, fly it, or take a boat.
Yep.
So
that's amazing.
And speaking of, now they do have a lot of trains.
Yes, they do. Now a lot of this has been one of my favorite things that I've wanted to go do for years. I've always wanted to go get on the the Alaskan Railroad and go ride it and just be able to go see it and explore things. I mean, you can see like the bald eagles, you can see bears, you can see all kinds of different things as you explore. Oh yeah. So well, you can see it.
As you can see, this is the map of the Alaska Railroad, which I can always make sure you have a better view of it when you get to booking your Alaskan vacation with us.
Yeah.
But these are just some of the highlights and some of the things that you can do. And Anchorage is definitely the hub that we always recommend, and kind of offshoot and check out some things for a few days and then come back to Anchorage.
Yeah.
But what are some of the options that you found that like you were like, oh, I want to do that?
Well, the interesting thing that I found that there were so many different packages that you can do. I mean, you can do 12 days on the train if you wanted to. You can do
that's cool.
7 days. You can do 5 days. You can even go down to as low as 4 days being on the train. It just depends on where you board the train at and where you want to go.
Right.
Now, while you're on the train, like I said before, you get to see all the wildlife. You get to see the glaciers, and you get to see the beautiful mountains and the scenery and everything.
Denali. Sorry.
So you get to see all of that while you're going. But the excursions that you can do at all these different locations that you stop at, I mean, like dog mushing. That is something I would love to be able to go do because, hey, look, I'm a huge fan of Siberian Huskies. I raised them and bred them. My boys helped me do that. You even helped me when we first met with it a little bit. My mom and dad helped me with them. But that was my breed, and I wanted to learn how to mushing with, I think that's what they call it, mushing with my dogs.
Yes.
But because it was just, thought it was so cool, but the only fear that I had was literally running myself into a tree. So, and I know
Because the ones that you had
my
would have
dogs,
done it.
they would have done it, just to sit there and laugh at me.
Dad.
But being able to do that would be so cool. But
Yes.
being able to walk on the glacier or get around the glaciers and see the glaciers and walk on the ice and different things, and to experience that and be able to see a bald eagle up there or the brown bears, just like it's so exciting.
Go down into the southwest part and actually be able to see the grizzly bears, especially in the spring when they're catching their salmon.
Yeah. That would be so awe-inspiring to be able to see something like that. Just to be able to see all these like bears standing in the water, and all of a sudden this giant salmon comes right up out and they nail it right in the air. That would be so cool to watch.
The moose.
Yes, the moose. The mises. The moose, yeah, being able to see those. And now I don't believe I've ever seen a moose in real life.
Yes, we have. We were at the Columbus Zoo.
Yes, that's right.
It was giant, and we couldn't even get a good view of it because it was hiding in the thickets.
Yes. And now to compare that to the elk that we saw.
Yeah.
And now, like, we flipped out when we saw the elk. Now the moose, obviously the moose and the elk. Yeah. So, but to be able to see that in the wild,
wouldn't that be amazing?
And not be in like a zoo or anything like that. That would be cool to be able to experience it.
Deb said, I know you want to visit the Summers house.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
So one thing that I really want to reiterate to people is, for instance, cruise season. So that's going to be May through September. It's a fairly short time frame, but Anchorage, Alaska in particular is open year round. You can go in the winter and you can do some of these things. You can go fall and spring is a really great time to be able to go and see the flora, the fauna, seeing fall. That's also when you're going to be able to see, I'm sorry, what? Oh, there is a carnival. Okay. You're also going to be able to see the Aurora Borealis, Northern Lights.
Yeah.
So sorry, that totally threw me off.
Sorry.
So, and because in the summertime, say for instance, you go on a cruise ship in June, and that is what your biggest goal is, seeing the Northern Lights. Well, guess what? In June, what is it? 19 hours and 22 minutes is the average of daylight.
Well, that's in Anchorage.
In Anchorage.
On Fairbanks, it's 21 hours and 19 minutes of daylight. So
you're not going to see the Aurora Borealis.
Not in June.
No.
Your best time that you actually, if you wanted to go, would be November, December, January, February.
Yep.
In those months right in there.
Yeah.
Now,
I recommend, actually, if the cruising part of it is not such a big deal for you, go in the spring. So Anchorage has this amazing festival called the Fur Rondy Festival. And it's literally from where trappers used to come in at the end of winter, beginning of spring, off to get a shower. If you can, FT me when ooh. Okay. So fur trappers would come into Anchorage and they would sell the pelts and stuff that they had. You get off. Love you guys.
It's a good thing we understand.
We understand Christopher's
language.
So that's where it all started from. And it all kicks off by the Iditarod, which is the dog sledding challenge that they do every year, which also, fun fact, dog sledding or dog mushing is the only sport, or it is the national sport for Alaska.
Yeah.
So, and it's one of the only ones that you'll be able to see. They don't have nearly as many as, for instance, here in Pittsburgh, where we've got several stadiums. FaceTime me when y'all get off. Sorry, I dropped toothpaste on my phone. Just stop, Chris.
Anyway, while she finishes having her laughing fit, the other things that I didn't get to finish to going over on the trains,
Oh, I
they
apologize. I
have
thought you were done.
they have fine dining on these trains and stuff. They also have packages where you can, if you want to, you can just sit in the cars and stuff and enjoy the beautiful view because they're basically glass ceilings in these cars. So you can just sit there, or you can actually get rooms
Yep.
and stay on the train and just continue on the whole journey all the way up through.
Yep.
Now the fine dining, guys, like I've been going through and I've seen some photos and different things of what they do dining wise, and oh
Literally
my
fine
gosh,
dining.
like I mean, you have personal chefs that are literally there cooking for all of you guys. But I mean, they're just, the food is just phenomenal looking. Like where else could you go and have fresh salmon?
I know.
Literally fresh salmon, you know? I mean, think about that.
Can't get
It's
much
just,
fresher.
no. I mean, it's, you're literally, all they do is stop the train, we got to catch one. You know, but
Not quite,
not
but
quite,
almost.
but yeah, it's pretty dang close to it. But
Mm.
to be able to go on these trains and stuff and do these excursions is just literally in itself can be a vacation just by
Mhm.
itself. You could fly up, get on the train, not even get on a ship or anything. You can even do whale watching while you're on the train.
I know.
I mean, obviously you're going to have to go out in the water for that, but I mean, the train doesn't go there, but you'll have to get on a boat and go out on the water.
Yeah.
This
It's
is one of the excursions that you can do. Wow. There's just like one, you know? Anyway, but
I'm scared.
you should be. But this is the kind of stuff that like I don't even know if I'd want to go on the cruise. I think I would rather just go up and get on the train and just go around and see the different stops and do it that way, you know?
Well, see, I would want to go in the spring because I would want to do the Ferrandi because I would love to be able to say that I've seen the Iditarod. I think that would be absolutely incredible. I would take the train and go south a little bit and go check out Kodiak so that I can see the grizzly bears because they're waking up and they're catching the salmon.
Yeah, they're hungry.
I would go back to Anchorage, do something else for a day or two, maybe get to see a couple of baby moose. That would be really cute.
It's Mises.
Mooses. Okay. But see a couple of those and then head up into the interior and check out Denali, which Denali is one of the stops that they have for the railroad. And they actually have specially negotiated space available so that you could stay in the Denali National Lodge right there in the national park, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. And sometimes it's the only way you can get into there.
Yeah.
So,
and from what I've heard, that happens more because it is so popular that you can't just go get a room there. You have to be on the train and have it booked.
Yeah.
To be able to get in there.
Yeah. So many things that you can do.
Yeah.
And then obviously, if you decide to go in the fall, I mean, if you think that our falls are beautiful, oh my God.
Yeah. Wow.
Absolutely amazing because seeing videos, they are beautiful. Yes, Deb, they definitely are. So really, really an amazing destination that you can go and check out. Now, one of my handy-dandy tools, which is Visitor Anchorage, I absolutely love this book. It's not very long, but I'm talking about things and I wanted to make sure that I showed you. So right here, this is what I'm talking about. So this is Alaska itself right here. So if you are going to be doing, hang on, I can't look at this backwards. So if you're going to be doing a cruise, this is the portion that you're going to do and then maybe come up into here at the bottom of South Central so that you can get into Anchorage because Anchorage is right in here. Now, I would want to go down into the southwest. Right here is Kodiak, grizzly bears. There's other things that you can do on this side. But then let's head up onto the interior. Or go even further, go up into the Arctic, because you can do that with the Alaska Railroad, and go to the North Pole. So I think it's so cool that that's an option.
Yep.
So...
Well, being able to, there's other options like you can do helicopter adventures. You can do what they call basically like bush pilots. they'll take you up on a plane and stuff, and you can go flying around. They'll show you glaciers from the plane. They'll show you wildlife from the plane and stuff. So I mean, there's all kinds of different adventures that you can do. You can do Yeah, you could do some rafting while you're up there. They have tours of rafting that you can go do. I mean, that would be a lot of fun.
So, sorry, Deb, I didn't think about the fact it would be backwards when I showed it to you. So that's my bad. And then, Mike, you're very bad. They closed the Sam's Club in the North Pole. Sure. So, now, if maybe you are hesitant about doing the trains, but you still really want to be able to get into Alaska and see different things. You can also fly. This is going to be, it's ironically, they have more pilots in Alaska than they do in any other state. Well, I shouldn't say ironically, because so many places, that's where you get that's how you get to where you need to go.
Yep.
Now, I will say a lot of these flights are going to be by bush planes, which will have 6 to 12 passengers, maybe, if you're lucky.
Yeah. Depending on how much cargo they're carrying.
Yeah. So just to keep that in mind, it's going to be a very different experience than getting on your commercial airline in order to be able to go down to Disney World. So the Costco is coming. Oh boy. But some things that you can do, say for instance, you just want to go up to Anchorage, get your feet wet, make sure that this is something you want to do. You're going in the summertime, and kind of just branch out a little bit from there while you're in Anchorage for a week. Okay. Check out the museums. They have phenomenal museums right there in Anchorage. They also have this bike loop, which some guy did this bike loop, like just going around the city and stuff, and was having his smartphone track where he was going, and unintentionally created the moose bike trail because it looks like a moose. So do a little bit of that. Also breweries. Oh my gosh. There are 45 different breweries just in the Anchorage area
alone.
So they absolutely love their beer. Yeah. And from what I've heard, they're pretty good at brewing it. Yeah. So they had they had a couple that they were giving away. Unfortunately, I did not win them, but the person that did said that they were very, very tasty because he opened one up immediately. So definitely check that out. Also, the dining, like I said before, is absolutely amazing. You're going to have some of the freshest seafood that you could possibly get. And if you want to make it even fresher, right there in downtown Anchorage, they do have a nice, large, wide stream going right through. Go fly fishing and catch your own salmon or trout. And then they'll dress it for you. And then you can take it and cook it into your Airbnb or whatever it is that you might have. So,
or with that being said, another thing that you can do while you're up there in order to go see Alaska, you can rent a camper, and rent an RV and drive it around up there and go see and explore away from all of the traveled areas where go on the backside, and see the other part of Alaska that's not so much full of tourists.
Yep.
So
exactly. I will say for that, you need to do that in the summertime. Yeah. I'm not sending someone up there to do that in the winter.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And now we can handle running those for you too. So all of that can be taken care of right through us. Yep. So all you would have to do is basically fly from whatever city you're in up to Anchorage. We can help you get that sorted out for you, and figure out what kind of camper you're going to get into, and we'll get it running for you. So
yep, exactly. I love that. We can also get you some absolutely phenomenal ski packages if you do want to go up in the wintertime, because it's Alaska. Of course they're going to have incredible skiing and snowboarding. So let's get you up there so that you can do that. I mean, could you imagine going up there for the winter solstice, which is December 21st? So maybe you pull your kids out of school a little early. You guys decide that you're going to do Christmas in Alaska because, how much closer are you honestly going to get to Santa and the North Pole? And you're at a ski lodge. absolutely amazing being able to go out and ski for the couple of hours during the day, and then coming in and just looking out and seeing the aurora borealis and stuff as you are enjoying your dinner or your hot toddy and stuff before you guys go to bed, because I mean, let's face it, we're all going to be doing that when we're up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so many different things that you could do. And then to take it a little bit further, you go and you learn how to dog mush. And if you have a younger child like what we do, they can sit in the box in the front, and then you can go with the musher and just have an amazing time. At 40 below. So it very rarely actually gets at 40 below. Where is that map actually? So the average temperature in Alaska in December is 24 degrees. And then January and February, it's 22 degrees. So not to say that it doesn't get cold snaps of -30, -40, but they don't last very long, and then it comes back up to a much more manageable level.
Yeah, up around in Fairbanks, Alaska, you're looking at 5 degrees as an average
in December.
December, with lows down. It could be brutal sometimes up around Fairbanks and stuff. But those are your really cold months. I mean, that's that you.
Well, and you're probably not going to be going all the way up into Fairbanks unless you have something specific that you're wanting to do in that area.
Yeah.
So most people in the wintertime, they're going to come into Anchorage because that's where your flights are going to be going in and out of most consistently.
And that's basically your southernmost biggest city in Alaska. So
right. So, and then speaking of like getting to Alaska, obviously you've got Alaska Airlines. There is also, I had a list here. Where was it? This is what I do to myself, everybody.
Well, anyway,
there are several different airlines that go through. Alaska Airlines is the one that's sticking in my brain the most because that's going to be the easiest one from the Pittsburgh area. Because Pittsburgh, you can actually get on Alaska Airlines. It'll take you to Seattle, and then from Seattle straight up into Anchorage.
Yeah.
So it's a very easy one-stop shop as far as like going up, but you won't obviously it's a long flight.
Yeah, it'll take you a little while to get out there, but guys,
not as long as Hawaii.
No, but it's definitely worth the trip. I mean, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful. It's one of those once in a lifetime trips that I swear 90% of Americans want to go see that state.
Yep.
So it's just on everybody's bucket list. So
yeah, it's on ours.
Yeah, it is. It is, and we will get there someday.
I know.
So. Man, I look tired.
You do look tired. So, and we are coming up on 9 o'clock. So, like I said before, if you're interested in checking out Alaska, if you're wanting to do cruises, by all means, I definitely can do cruises. I'll help you navigate the itinerary so that you can get to do exactly what you want to do. Go to Arizona and then fly to Alaska. I suppose you could do
out of
that.
Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah, out of Phoenix.
I'm pretty sure they have flights directly from there up. So
we have a hard time with direct flights into Phoenix from Pittsburgh, though. They're more available out of Columbus. I don't know why.
Yeah. There is direct flights. I know of direct flights out of Columbus, Ohio, but for some reason Pittsburgh doesn't.
Yeah, they're only a couple times a week.
Yeah.
Right now, which again I don't know why. I do have a lot of people go to Phoenix. That's why I know that. But yeah, if you are thinking about doing Alaska, definitely let us know. We can do the cruise portion of it. We can do a total like fit itinerary where we custom build everything for you so that you get to hit all of those big points, things that you want to do. And we're very well educated on it. I'm actually only like 2 modules away, like teeny tiny modules away from finishing my Alaska certification. And then I will also be an Alaska Railroad certified agent as well. So those certifications, not exactly easy to get. Like I got to
Mm-mm.
take the time and do the work and know exactly what it is that I'm talking about before they will give me those certifications.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I have had the opportunity to be able to do those because I've learned so much. It makes me want to go that much more.
Yeah, it does.
But definitely, I do it so that I can make sure that you have the absolute best vacation possible.
Yep.
And I make him do it with me now because he is definitely coming up and coming and learning more and more every day. And I'm so excited that he gets to do this with me.
Oh,
The booking side of it now, not just the talking to all of you about it.
Well, I do like to talk. So,
yep.
But yeah, this is if I gave any advice to anybody about going to Alaska, make sure you take the time. This is the most important thing. Take time to go do it.
Yeah.
Don't try to make it a 4 or 5 day trip.
No. Don't do it in a 7-day trip.
Yeah, 7 days is the minimum that I would recommend. I would recommend at least 12 days. That way you can really get your feeling of a true Alaska.
Right.
See the different glaciers, see the different parts of Alaska, go on the whale watching tours, go mushing with the dogs, go
walk on a glacier.
Yeah, walk on the glacier. There's lots of trails and stuff that you can go walking around on up there. I mean, I thought that was amazing.
Your dad said kick back and drink a Coke.
Yeah, kick back and drink a cold Coke.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many great things to do.
Enjoy the wildlife.
Yeah.
That's the biggest reason I want to go.
Yeah, and I would love to just go up and have some great cuisine. Just go eat and just oh my God, like all I've seen is just photos after photos of just great food, great brews. I mean,
they even have a couple wineries, believe it or not.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Anyway, to me, I would say the minimum of 7 days and then go up to 12, because
12, 14,
yeah, 12 to 14 days, man. You really need a couple weeks to go experience this. I mean, if you definitely go on a cruise, you're going to go see a lot of porter calls, but if you're in the main hub of it and you get on the train and ride the train, oh man, you're going to see some beautiful, beautiful parts of Alaska.
Yes, yes, you are.
So anyway, well, I have rambled enough here. I don't know about you. I
always ramble, so.
Yeah, well, we could ramble all night when we're talking travel. So
yes, we could.
But anyway, we are going to get out of here because it is getting close to 9:00. So anyway, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this show tonight, us talking about it. If you are interested in going to Alaska, get in contact with Megan or I. We'll definitely be glad to book you guys. I'm ignoring it.
I've given up. You two are terrible this evening.
I'm so tired. I don't even have the strength for it right now. But anyway,
it's okay.
Anyway, we've had a lot of fun, guys. And by the way, thank you to all the 246 subscribers, all the viewers to our YouTube channel. We love you guys that are watching all of our videos and stuff.
Yes,
continue to do that. If you guys haven't seen some of our videos, please get on there, watch them. We will have a new video up this week, correct? Yep. We kind of fell behind on the video that we were making for last Thursday, but hey, I
got invited to a travel show.
Well, she got invited to a travel show. We had Easter weekend. We had family in. We went and took them on a tour of Pittsburgh, which we still have more to do. We haven't even finished that because they only started scratching the surface of Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
And so we got more plans for them to come back up with us and hang out with us for another weekend. And we're going to make sure that we have plenty of time to hang out with them that whole time. So, and if you guys want to come up and hang out with us, get a hold of us. Yeah, let us know. We'd be glad to take you around Pittsburgh.
Being tour guides.
And show you the beautiful parts of Pittsburgh and keep you away from the not so beautiful parts.
To the best of our ability.
Yeah, the best of our ability. But so anyway,
next week, definitely make sure that you are tuning in because we will be talking about Earth Day. And because of Earth Day and the fact that it is a 25-year anniversary, we're going to be talking about Animal Kingdom, my absolute favorite theme park.
Yeah, and how they are actually helping to conserve and protect and keep Earth green and healthy.
Yep.
So,
And conserving all of those animals and making sure that they will be available for future generations.
yep, there you go. Thank you. That was the words I was trying to find. Well, anyway, guys, we're going to get out of here. We will see you guys next week. Don't forget to join us next week, same time, same station, right here with Plum Crazy Adventures. And as always, guys, are you ready for your next Plum Crazy adventure?
Because we're ready to get you there.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye,
guys.